All right, welcome back to another episode of Beer, Bacon, and Bros. As always, it's Keith, Chris, and Alex. Tonight we're going to be getting in. Yeah, I'm not going to
forget my name.
No. I had to think it was like Adam. No, Adam's not here. Tonight we're going to be getting into our second beer review of the night. This one coming from Akademia Brewing Company out in Athens. Before we get into that, make sure you're subscribing to the channel. It really helps us out a lot. It's free for you. And make sure you're dropping some comments and some likes in those videos. It helps us get our videos out there. And we always get back to all your comments. So let us know what you think about the beer, if you've had the beer, or if there's a beer you'd like for us to try. So like I said, this is our second beer coming from Akademia Brewing Company out of Athens, Georgia. Our good friend Chris here was able to go to Athens over the weekend, so he brought us back a couple of beers. This one is the Publica Blonde Coffee Ale.
Yep.
And it is a 4.6%, canned on the 27th, so just 4 days ago.
Yeah, it's fresh.
So yeah, we're looking forward to this one. You had a little excerpt. What did the thing have to say about
You
it?
can read that. I'm not reading all that.
Right. So according to the Akademia website, it does say that this is a exquisite. It features an exquisite coffee from a local roaster, which is Publica Coffee. The blonde ale spends a brief time conditioning on a single origin whole bean coffee. That didn't make sense.
Single origin whole bean coffee, so it's all coming from the same source.
Gotcha.
It's not a mixed bag of beans.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, but it's
this thing is. I'm just saying this
That thing is
full.
It is
it is coming out the top.
So, it is roasted right there in Athens, Georgia. It's a simple grain bill on the blonde ale, which allows the flavors of the single origin coffee to shine through. You get notes of a light floral honey, caramel complexity, and an underripe palm fruit, all wrapped nicely on the palate with a coffee finish.
You can already smell.
You can smell the coffee. Yeah.
So it looks like they formally called this their Boom Time Blonde,
Okay.
according to their website.
Yeah, you can smell the coffee.
That's a light beer.
You can smell the coffee house.
I knew you were gonna like this.
Oh wow, that smells like a coffee house. Like you're right, that smells like a coffee house.
Yeah, this is good.
I feel like I just walked into a Starbucks.
Yeah.
That's what it smells like. You
It smells
walk
like an
into-
airport Starbucks.
Yeah. Well, you do spend a lot of time in the airport, so.
Yeah. Tastes like an airport Starbucks.
Wow.
I'm gonna pass that down here. Y'all got some heavy pours compared to
Yeah, I'm really a big guy, and I know you're gonna like this beer.
Wow. That is like straight up coffee.
Yeah, that's a good cup of coffee.
Is this
that's
better
what
than the coffee lager?
Yes.
I think I like the coffee lager a little bit more. I think the coffee lager has a little bit more stronger coffee flavor.
I think
But this
sweeter
is
too.
it's a little bit sweeter than that Steel Hands, but
Yeah.
this is just the right amount of coffee to where it's not like overpowering. It's still really good.
If you took away some of the fizziness and the coldness, would you think you're drinking a beer or a coffee or a beer?
I'd still think I was drinking a beer just because of how light it is. I still think coffee is such a dense drink that, like, there's some thickness to a black coffee.
No, I agree there. I mean, but it's got a very good coffee taste.
It was incredible.
It's really good.
When I saw this on the menu, I was like, yeah, I gotta try this because you just don't go to very many breweries that have a ale or lager that's got coffee in it, right? And so when you find that, you gotta try it just to compare it. For those that, don't know, we're talking about Steel Hands Brewery in Casey, South Carolina, has a coffee lager that's been super popular since they opened 4 years ago.
The other big one is the one from Legal Remedy in Rock Hill, the
Mocha Blonde Stout.
Mocha Blonde Stout, yeah. Which looks like this, but drinks like a stout.
Yeah.
So
yeah, this was very. I was impressed with this. Everybody around me at the bar was drinking this for several hours, and so.
I think what I like about this though is that. Like you said, how Steel Hands does have that kind of a sweetness, a sweet undertone to it.
Yeah.
This doesn't have that as much sweetness to it, so you kind of feel like you are just drinking.
This just like the smell of coffee beans is what you taste here. Versus
Exactly.
in the lager, I feel like it's actually tasting like a cup of coffee.
Yeah, I say that all the time. This does have a little bit more bitterness to it.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're actually eating like espresso beans, stuff like that. I say that all the time. People look at it kind of funny. Like this tastes what the item smells like.
Yeah.
Oh no, definitely.
Yeah, like
you smell coffee beans. You taste coffee beans.
So I'm glad y'all understand that concept.
Yeah.
Like I'm like this
Well, they go
tastes
hand in
what
hand.
something smells
Yeah.
like. Yeah. Like I think honestly, blue cheese taste like what the USS Yorktown smells like.
Mold and mildew.
Mold and mildew and asbestos from World War II. That's what blue cheese tastes like to me. So I'm one of those people where it tastes like what something smells like.
Yeah, I mean that's not just a Yorktown thing too. That's just a World War II naval.
Yeah, World War II Navy ship.
That's any type of.
But this tastes exactly like what a bag of coffee smells like.
Yeah. Yeah, I was the two that I
I'm
brought
very
back were
impressed
the
with
two
this.
that I thought were the best that I had there, and many people were sitting around. I had to explain to people in Athens what Steel Hands is, and they're like, "Oh God, if we ever come back up to Columbia for a South Carolina game, we'll have to go to Steel Hands and try that because they love this. This is a flagship beer at Akademia.
It's one of their big ones.
Yeah.
Okay. I do agree with you, Chris. I think Steel Hands has a little bit more sweeter notes to it, to where I feel like, I can pound the Steel Hands coffee lager all night.
I think we all can.
Just go through it. Yeah. But this one here's got a little bit more of that bitterness to it that I do feel it is it's playing a part in how quickly I can drink this beer.
Yeah.
But it's not a major thing. It's just I'm looking for it and I notice it's there.
I almost feel like this is built more for like a winter morning beer.
Like sitting out on the porch in a
Or
cabin.
like going hunting. Like
Yeah.
if you're going hunting and you're ready to just like get the day started, it's you're just after the first hunt and it's 9 a.m. You're walking back. And you're just like, this is it right here. So, or tailgating obviously. So, this just feels like the colder morning you're having to go through it. You're trying to drink a morning beer with coffee in it. This is it.
Yeah, it's really good.
This is your morning coffee on those noon games on Saturday.
Yeah, well, I don't typically drink coffee.
I know you don't, but
I know we might sound like a little bit like homers, but the Steel Hands coffee lager, I feel like we've used that as
the gauge.
The gauge for other coffee beers, and it's hard to find some that even come close.
We've had some good ones though.
We've gotten in some of them recently have gotten really good at doing this.
Well, we had the one from Cabarrus Brewing too that was really good.
Yeah.
Yep.
And this one's one of those where it's meeting that threshold. It is actually getting to that benchmark, and it's just a little bit different tasting notes in it that separate it. It's a really good coffee beer though. I enjoy it. It's just like drinking coffee almost. I'll go 8.3 on this one.
I had 8.5 in my. I know you put 8.5, but 8.5 was in my head as soon as I drank it, so I'm gonna go 8.5 on that. It's a really solid beer. I mean, I think Alex has hit all the major points. You've hit major points. I mean, I don't want to repeat everything that we've said, but I mean, it's definitely, you get the coffee smell, you get the coffee taste.
Yeah.
I mean, it's spot on.
Yeah. I mean, I was going 8.5 as well. So I think my statement here was this: if you're in Athens and you're looking for a brewery and you can go to Creature Comforts or Terrapin or one of those names. But if you want to get off the beaten path and you want to find another really good brewery, I think Akademia is a good one. And if you're going to have one beer from there, it needs to be this beer.
Yeah.
Like that's what I learned in my 2 hours at that bar or that brewery. So this is an 8.5 solid, very good beer. Probably I'd rank it third. I think I'm with you. I think I'd do the Mocha Blonde Stout first, then the Steel Hands Coffee Lager, then this one as the 3 best coffee-related beers I've ever had. So really just smell and taste, just really fantastic. Honestly.
Well, and then just the drinkability of it. It's a very crisp, clean drink. It's not like it's fighting you in any way. So it's very easy to drink. Yeah. I mean, I know you said you have that a little bit of that bitterness to it, but it's still. I mean, I still find it very easy just to kind of throw back and not have to worry about like a bite.
It's not really affecting the drinkability, but it's one of those things, while we're examining this beer, I gotta pick up on it.
Right.
But he's not thinking just one beer, he's thinking 6 beers.
I'm thinking multiple. Yeah.
This guy doesn't think in just one, he thinks in the future, next 2 hours. So.
Right.
And I agree with him, there is just a little bit of bitterness to it that could probably hold some.
But it's that coffee bitter. It's not it's that bitter
it's
you
black
expect.
coffee bitter.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. It's not a bitterness that comes from anything else. It's just a black coffee bitterness.
Yeah.
All right. Well, back down the line, we got 8.5, 8.5, 8.3 on the Akademia Publica Coffee Blonde Ale, and out of Athens, Georgia, and that's a review.